do have a tendency to like long guns. Okay, so let's go over here.
Unauthorized access of spacefaring vessels is a crime. Please submit yourself to the authorities. Hello, Marauder. I am Ada, the autonomous digital astrogator of this vessel. Please be informed that I am authorized to use violent retribution against unwanted solicitors. Please return any misappropriated equipment and exit this vessel in an orderly fashion. Failure to do so will result in your immediate destruction.
I love Ada. I'm not here to misappropriate anything.
I detect an elevated heart rate, indicating dishonesty. Please prepare yourself for lethal deterrence. Jettison procedures initiated. Disengaging airlocks. Preparing to eject all boarded parties in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You realize we're on the ground, right?
You are still here. My deception protocols have failed. I have been programmed to express disappointment.
Is this Hawthorne's ship?
This vessel is the registered property of Captain Alex Hawthorne. I am incapable of accepting orders from anyone other than Captain Alex Hawthorne.
Hawthorne's dead. I'm sorry.
I understand. I will require some time to process this information. Thank you for your patience and for your honesty. I am programmed to take orders exclusively from Captain Hawthorne. If I accept your orders, then you must be Captain Hawthorne. Do you understand?
I get it. You need me to be Captain Hawthorne, or you can't fly.
Well done, Captain Hawthorne. I see your powers of deductive reasoning remain intact. Unfortunately, our engine is currently inoperable. Our main drive suffered a critical power failure, and we were forced to make an emergency landing. The main drive's power regulator has been irreparably damaged and must be replaced.
I doubt I'll find a part like that just sitting in a garage.
Astutely observed. However, the probability of locating a power regulator within a worker settlement falls within acceptable parameters of certainty. High-capacity power regulators are sometimes employed in the electrical networks of worker settlements. I have taken the liberty of printing you a new captain's identity cartridge. Please try not to lose it this time. This cartridge identifies you, Alex Hawthorne, as the registered proprietor and captain of the Unreliable. Do you understand?
Um, yes, Ada is a good AI. Also, um, anytime there's a skill option for dialogue, most of the time we're gonna take it because if we can do it, because we're gonna get XP every time we do that. So totally another way to get XP. Yeah, Ada, I got it. Thanks.
Best of luck in your search for a power regulator. Try to stay alive this time.
So yeah, that's Ada. Ada is our ship AI because this is our ship now. Um, Ada's a good egg.
If your equipment is in need of repair or modification, the Crux 2000 Workbench is at your disposal, Captain.
So Workbench. The workbench allows you to repair, upgrade, and modify your weapon and armor, keeping you combat ready and in tip-top shape at all times. On each screen, first select the weapon or armor that you want to work on, then choose what you want to do with it. Repair it, break it down for parts, modify it with a mod, or tinker to upgrade it. So, when we get enough engineering points, we can do this in our inventory, and we don't actually need the bench. But we don't have enough points for that because we don't. So, we don't have any mods, so we can't install any mods. But you can see that this particular gun, you can modify the magazine. This particular weapon, you can modify attack. This one, you can modify attack, magazine, magazine. The better the weapon, the more modifications it can have. You can put a lot of really crazy stuff on your weapons, and it's great. And then, if you upgrade your science skill, you can tinker, which means you can just kind of mess with it and make it better. Repairing, we can always repair, but you need weapon parts to repair. So we don't have any weapon parts, so we can't actually repair our stuff. We don't need to repair them yet because they're still in the 90s. But We can break down for these things for weapon parts, but they're kind of our things because the excepting we got one extra one, most of the marauders we just killed didn't have any weapons. When we kill bandits and stuff, they'll have weapons, and we'll break down their stuff and get weapon parts from it. And after a while, we won't need weapon parts anymore. We'll have way more than we could ever need, and we'll just start selling it off, and then we'll make more money that way. So, um, yeah, we can't do much with that right now, but we can actually we can just pick that up. And then there's a shotgun right here. Hello. So one of your weapons or armor items is broken and is at minimum effectiveness. You should find a workbench and repair it because the shotgun we picked up the shotgun and the shotgun is broken. Yada yada yada. Players with engineering can repair their gear without the need of a workbench. Repairing it returns to 100 durability and full effectiveness. It loses effectiveness as it takes damage. So that's a thing too. All right, repair. We have this sawed-off shotgun that we still don't have enough weapon parts to um repair it from the condition that it's at because yeah, we would need to break down one of our guns, which we can actually. We can um it gives us the option for I believe that the yes. So the things that you have listed under your breakdown are the things you don't have equipped. So we can break down this gun. Um and then we can break down this sentry saber too. So we'll go over here and then we go to this and we want to repair this item. Yes. So now I will do that all the time. I will always hit tab and I'll hit escape instead of tab. I'll do it all the time. So this one's 180 DPS. This one's 173. Um, eh, eh. So this one's more of a short range stopping power kind of dealy do. I'll go ahead and do this. Um, this the two-handed melee does more damage. We're gonna keep it for now, but the one-handers are faster, and sometimes I prefer how they feel. We also these are heavy, or this one's a light gun, so this one's better because they kind of all share ammo. We don't have any um, heavy ammo right now, so we can't even use this assault rifle yet. So, but we're gonna poke around in the ship because there's things we can, you know, take in the ship. So we will take them.
The ship's engines cannot be powered until a replacement regulator has been properly installed.
So, engine room,
These surveillance devices allow me to monitor you constantly. Please ignore them.
cameras everywhere.
Want to be a brand new you? Try out our Respecification Machine. Alex installed it himself, right before he died.
So you can actually respec yourself. You can respec all of your spent skill and perk points. Every time you do it, it costs more. But if you make a mistake in how you've spec'd yourself, then you can fix it. Which is pretty great, honestly. Okay. So we will go back down this way. There is fall damage in this game. It is very easy to jump off of something and kill yourself. So captain's quarters. This isn't open
Due to
yet.
catastrophic power failure, all doors will remain on security lockdown.
When all the doors open up, this is our room. And it's full of really cool stuff. And then all of our crew
These are the
quarters.
crew's quarters. Alex preferred to travel alone, but he always had me.
We got all this stuff over here. And we've got food in the fridges. We'll take it. I have a tendency when I'm doing storage in games, like when I want to dump all my food, so that I will not dump all my food, but I don't want to carry all this around with me. Instead of selling it, sometimes I'll put it in like fridges, stuff like that. You gotta be careful with really nice stuff though. I'm so shy from playing other games that I'm always worried that my NPCs are going to eat all my really good stuff, so I never put that anywhere where they can get to it. Like, yeah. Okay. So, yes, that's what we have in here. So now, okay. We're going to take just 1 second. And I'm going to swap it. I'm going to swap it over for a second. I'm going to stretch, because stretch. We're going to have some water. And yeah, I think we're gonna keep going because I did get up recently. And I got up recently and walked. And next time we do a break, maybe I will show off the new stick I got for the cats. Alright. Alright.
Say, this wouldn't happen to be your ship, would it? Because you sure walked in it like it was your ship. And if this
Oh,
ship
thank you.
is yours, well, ma'am, you owe Spacer's Choice a hefty fine. Afraid we gotta dock your pay.
Um, we could lie. Got it all wrong. I'm a Starship Safety Inspector. Really? After I patch up your friend? Attack? We can just attack them. So you can just murder people relentlessly in this game, by the way. There is a morality system in this game. We're not gonna randomly murder most people in this game. There are exceptions. So I don't have a job. Uh, I guess we're gonna lie because it's gonna get us more. Well, no. I don't like lying because again, there's a morality system. We're gonna say, really? After I patched up your friend?
Yeah, fair point. I'll let it go this time. If you're looking to help us out with our marauder problem, talk to Constable Reyes over in Edgewater. Edgewater's not too far. Just follow the road east of here, over past the cemetery. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to inspect the crime scene before I make my report.
So we got out of that fine that she was gonna yell at us about because we used our medical to patch up the dude in the cave. Also, volcano? All right. So, now we are free to head toward town, which is this way. There are marauders and we've got our shotgun. So there's a marauder right over there. We don't have any ammo for this gun, but you can see you can definitely. All right. A little bit of sway. Putting more points in that actually fix it. Shotgun. You'll notice that they ran. They did notice me. But you know what? When I crouched, that's like going into stealth. I have +5 to stealth right now. So I crouched. I shot their friend that was in my face, and then I crouched, so they reset. So now we're going to kind of crawl into the stuff here. We're looking for, yep, they're right around the other side. Here they are. Here's one of them. So you have to be careful though. We're gonna switch into this. All done. So it's very easy to take a lot of damage very quickly, especially at the beginning of the game. So we gotta we just gotta keep an eye on it. It's not a big deal. I I remember now why I don't like shotguns though. Um I don't particularly prefer shotguns. Oh, and the money in this is called bits. But anyway, I don't particularly like shotguns in most games. And now I remember why I don't like shotguns in this game, because they they jerk back quite a bit when you're using them. That probably gets better if you put a lot of points into it, but I prefer I just prefer yeah, not that. So, there's a path up, there's a path down. We're going to take the path up to see if there's a watch station or anything like that. Wandering off of the path is a good way to find monsters. Um, in some places, it's a good way to find extremely dangerous monsters that will utterly destroy you. So, a little bit of storage over there. That is the entrance to Edgewater over there, named thusly because it is at the edge of the water, as you can see. That's the skyline. How gorgeous is that? Yes. There is a thing, and I can't remember what it's called now, but there is a thing that is equivalent of the Death Claw, and it will wreck your shit. very, it will very quickly wreck your shit. All right, so we're gonna put our weapon away, or use another Adreno. We're gonna put our weapon away. We killed the marauder standing between us and town, so.
Whoa, hey, where'd you come from?
Hey there, Silas.
Running around in a marauder's attire. You're liable to give some people the wrong idea.
So, this is a thing that I find to be very interesting. So we are wearing Marauder armor right now because the stats are slightly better. When you wear armor of certain factions and things like that, people automatically notice that and they will comment on it, and sometimes it affects your ability to talk to them. So we're gonna end up buying Spacer's Choice armor and working with that. Um, but yes, currently we look like a Marauder, and most of it is the helmet, but currently we look like a Marauder, and that is why he said that to us.
It's in poor taste. Dressing up like a marauder's disrespectful to all the workers that got eaten by him. Ain't safe out here. You'd best head into town. Avail yourself of Edgewater's high walls and low prices.
I never got your name. I'm Mizzy.
Pleased to make your acquaintanceship. I'd shake your hand, but I've been hauling corpses. You don't want none of that on you. Name's Silas. Junior in humor for the town of Edgewater. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family.
Who do I talk to about a power regulator?
Definitely not the junior in humor, that's for sure. If you've got business inquiries, you should stop by Reed Thompson's office. He's up in the tower above the cannery. Head into town, follow the road. Look, you obviously ain't a worker. What's your racket? You a smuggler? Freelancer?
Depends on the work. You offering me a job?
Edgewater is a company town, board-owned and operated. That includes the cemetery. None of us own our grave sites, we rent them from the company. Renting means money. Money means paperwork. Paperwork means signatures. Some of our families become a mite delinquent in paying their dues, you see.
You want me to collect what's owed to you? I can do that.
4 workers still haven't paid up. Phyllis, Conrad, Ludwig, and Martin Abernathy. He's a special case. You may want to twist his arm a little.
Why is Abernathy a special case?
He just is. Look, I don't want to get into it. make sure he pays up.
There was something else I wanted to ask
Yeah?
you. You lose a lot of people to marauders?
Former people, yeah. Marauders been raiding my graves, you see. Hence the armed guards.
If you've got a marauder problem, I can take care of it.
Well, if you're gonna go headhunting, talk to Constable Reyes back in town. She pays for marauders by the finger.
What are they after? Loot?
Oh no. They are after the most precious loot of all. Spacer's Choice Company property. If those marauders swipe any more bodies out of my cemetery, company's gonna dock my pay.
I'm gonna thank you for your time. Alright, so first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take his advice. We're gonna swap out of the, because you can see on it in the description it says Marauder, Marauder armor, Marauder helmet. So we're not gonna keep it that way because we need our armor for when we're fighting stuff, depending on what we buy. But we are gonna switch back into our hibernation suit because that's gonna be not Marauder gear. Now we can go to Edgewater. The floating moon man. Yep. Oh, by the way, there are vending machines in this game, and when you talk to the vending machines, they sing to you. It's they do jingles. So, examine. Do you want to end your dreams in luxury and comfort? Do you dream of walking beneath the vaulted arches of Byzantium? Early retirement is finally here. Early retirement is your ticker to Byzantium. Early retirement is Chairman Rockwell and Minister Clark's gift to you. Selection for the early retirement process is by lottery. Winners enjoy an all-expense-paid trip to their new life in Byzantium, the jewel of Halcyon. That's going to be important. So we've got, different cemetery stuff here. You can see, because this is not like a marauder place or whatever. This is all theft. To take the things in here is all theft. That doesn't matter, and breaking into this is theft. That doesn't matter now. Like, I'm just not going to do it because I don't steal. Later, well, first of all, we'll be able to gain the ability to steal out of things and people will never notice it. Like, you can steal the first thing out of a box and it doesn't hurt you. But also, we don't need to steal from the townspeople for the most part. There's plenty of loot to be had. Alright, so then we want to go in here. We have discovered Edgewater. So, let's see. Guards. We got some mushrooms and stuff. Barber Shop.
Keep your distance, friend. Sick house is no place for a traveler.
This is the sick house with like sprats and stuff. Some of these things will be more relevant in a minute. This is the barber shop.
Please don't touch anything. Your hands are probably crawling with germs. Physical hygiene recapitulates moral hygiene. Cleanliness is next to lawfulness.
I mean, we can do intimidate. I can show you my hands. Relax. I'm clean.
So everyone says, until someone forgets to cough into their elbow, and then we're all dying of plague. I'm Conrad. You will report to me if your hair fails to meet Spacer's Choice aesthetic standards. You will also report to me in the event of your death, whereupon I will clean and prepare your remains for interment.
This is one of the people that we need to collect dues from. So Silas sent me to collect your dues.
Ah, gravesite fees. Silas and I had talked about this at length. I thought I'd made it clear my pecuniary situation precludes the necessary restitutions.
You mean you're broke?
As broke as pie crust, friend. Bitless, indigent, destitute. I simply cannot afford it. I am a blemish on the prosperity of our fair settlement. When I expire, I expect Silas to toss my body into a ditch.
So, there's several options here. I don't care. Pay up. You have a very loose definition of the word prosperity. That's some quality drama, Conrad. You should audition. Don't be so hard on yourself.
I have to be, if only to prepare myself for my inevitable dressing down at the hands of corporate. Tell Silas I can't afford to pay, and that I fully expect to have my medical rights revoked for this dereliction. With my apologies.
Hang on. Medical rights?
Some time ago, I fell ill with the plague. By the grace of the law, and through my own hard work, I'd proven worthy of treatment. Frankly, I don't imagine I'll earn that right a second time. The barber work hasn't been profitable, you see. I've had to keep this old place running with my own savings.
Just give Silas an IOU.
Not a bad idea. But I'd need some kind of collateral. My pair of lucky clippers. No, that won't do. Your idea intrigues me, but I'm afraid I don't have anything to give Silas. I'm open to suggestions.
I'll let you know if I think of anything.
Much obliged.
Alright, so that's Conrad. We are now going to go into the saloon. Also, there's a general store. First, we're going to go into the saloon. AKA Cantina.
You read the latest report?
Only the part that said we ain't making our quotas.
If only McDevitt's folk hadn't abandoned us. Cannery could use those extra hands.
Nothing we can do about that.
Sure there is. We can have another zero-G.
I don't know you.
Nice to meet you too. Everyone's so friendly and welcoming in this town.
We don't welcome trouble. I don't know what you're about, but this here's a Spacer's Choice drinking establishment. We're all loyal, hard-working company folk here.
Something going on here that I should know about?
Am I that easy to read? Yeah, we've been having some problems lately. Loyalty issues, lines in the sand. I know where folk in Edgewater stand. But you, I don't know you. If you're gonna have a drink, I'd like to ask that you do it within the premises. Can't have you taking drinks over to those deserters.
What's this about deserters?
Traitors. The lot of them. Bunch of folks decided they were tired of working and went out into the wilds to fend for their own selves. Town's already struggling to make quotas, even without that band of slackwits abandoning their posts. Bunch of lazy, shiftless rung leeches. Anyway, enough about them. What can I do for you?
I'll have a drink.
Coming right up.
What do we got? Your merchant skill is equal to the value of your best dialogue skill and is used to negotiate prices when buying and selling from vendors. So, we could buy some stuff. So here's water, right? And these drinks all last like 30 seconds. I don't tend to use anything that's actually alcoholic because it'll give you positives, but it also gives negatives, and I try very hard not to do anything that gives negatives. So things like the energy brew lasts 30 seconds. Those are the kind of things I pop for dialogue, right? But you can also like sell. It's really not worth it to sell anything right now, even though we have a bunch of stuff. Because our discount here is garbage currently. We need to do some stuff with the town and our discount will get better. And we can use vending machines. But we also, you can see, this is a good time. The game's gonna tell us this later, but you can see that this is worth like 9.5 bits for this Marauder armor, but this one is worth 19 bits, and that's because this one is pristine. And when they are pristine, that means that they are really just for selling. Like, you don't necessarily need to wear pristine. It doesn't work any better that I've noticed. So, all right. We got to go talk to the what's his face. And we also have the quest guy, which in our journal we can track. We can choose to set things to active. So it's gonna be, it's probably gonna be a minute before, right. It's probably gonna be a minute before we do all the rest of these. Just because we're kind of, I want to get it open that they sent us out of the town, because then we can just go outside and murder stuff and steal all of their loot. And we can do that side quest too. So, salt tuna. The salt tuna. So, this is the cannery. Terminal access. Baser's choice handguns. Body counts at a discount. So there's the logs. So this is kind of what we're dealing with here. I'll redo this so you know kind of what we're dealing with. Notice, schedule your sick leave with the Spacer's Choice foreman and or supervisor. Be considerate towards other members of the Spacer's Choice family. Allow 2 to 4 weeks to process and approve your scheduled sick leave. Lost hours must be compensated to the company. See Reed if you're having trouble paying for your sick leave. We'll try to arrange wage deductions instead. Remember, work invigorates the spirit. Sickness in the body reflects sickness in the mind and sickness in the character. If you find yourself falling ill, it may be time to schedule a meeting with our local vicar. That's kind of what we're dealing with here. Oh, and there's lots and lots of um entries and all this other kind of stuff, and we'll totally end up reading all of those, and that's the thing, because lore.
The grease monkey, Argo?
I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, sir. You asked why it's taking so long to fix. The answer's technical.
Don't apologize. Just try using small words for me.
The cans bust open in the oven because she's set to cook saltuna, which isn't what we've got. Mr. Thompson? I think there's someone here to see you.
Focus, Miss Holcomb. You and I are still talking. Let's start over. Walk me through the process. Show me where it's going awry.
Well, sure. It's, mostly on account of what we're feeding into the mechanism.
It puts food in cans. We have food, we have cans. Why won't it work like we need?
She's expecting saltuna of a certain size. We're filling the cans with, well, not fish.
I'm gonna wait to wax poetic.
Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself.
I'll wait until you're finished.
You were saying, Miss Holcomb.
It's just what Bess needs is a proper refurbish. I can bandage her up and what all, but she's just old. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'll do better.
And I do wish you'd stop referring to our cannery as Bess. Personification of company property is strictly contrary to the Spacer's Choice Code of Conduct. My apologies. I am not in the habit of allowing my guests to witness such a row. Now, what can I do for you?
Are you Reed? I was told I should talk to you.
I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform.
I don't work for Spacer's Choice.
Of course not. I don't have that kind of luck. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
My ship needs repairs. I'm looking for a power regulator.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process.
Let's hear it.
There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way.
When you say mostly abandoned, what do you mean?
I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there.
What a surprise. I never would have guessed.
I am not trying to pull one over on you, friend. You were bound to run into them sooner or later. The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home.
Why?
Edgewater is struggling. We haven't hit our production quota in years. If we don't meet our quotas this year, the company might shut us down for good. I need those workers back at their stations.
None of what you're telling me is my problem.
It's our problem, not yours, but I'm asking for your help. If those workers don't come back, Edgewater is going to collapse. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town.
All right, Reed. I'll see what I can do to help you. The narrator voice. But that was not the truth.
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I could come in useful. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
Yes, he is shady. And his predicament is understandable. Except, well, I won't say anything. I'm gonna say sure I could use the company because get used to Parvati kitties, because Parvati's gonna be in our party forever, except when we need to do side quests for other people, because Parvati, I love Parvati. I love her. So she's gonna be in our party forever. Yes, Parvati. Parvati best. Parvati best.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
I mean, Parvati does remind me of a certain someone. Probably part of why I'm so attached to her. Companions! You've gained a companion. They are characters that join you in your adventures and help in a variety of ways. Companions provide combat support. Their skills enhance your skills. They increase your carrying capacity. You can unlock special companion combat abilities with the inspiration skill. Learn more about your companions in the companion ledger. Some people may require completing another quest before they will assist you. You can check your quest log for dependencies. So if you go into your quest log, there's no dependencies, just because, yeah. Oh yeah, codex. So many entries, including companion, all of the things. Okay. Now, inventory, over here you'll notice that we now have an entry that says Parvati, the companion ledger. This companion ledger shows you everything you need to know about your companion. You can see their skills, stats, status effects, and gear. To change your companion's gear, select the item you want to swap out and choose a compatible item to replace it with. You can also change how they behave in combat by selecting their preferred weapon, follow distance, and aggressiveness. So, here's Parvati. Parvati wields a big-ass hammer. Amazing. And got the Spacer's Choice pistol. I can't. Let's see. Hold on. So we have armor. Parvati's Bardi armor is better than ours, right? But she doesn't have a helmet, so we're probably gonna get her helmet. And then we don't have any available, but you can put perk points into your hydrate. Perk points into your companions and make them better. And I'm gonna leave her on aggressive, because that means when we go into combat, she'll attack stuff. So that's good. Oh, Parvati. Okay, Parvati can now join the party, which she has. So she'll follow me around. We will use the elevator. We can talk to her and have conversation with her, which we will, because talking to Parvati is... I love Parvati. Alright.
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk.
So, we're gonna leave.
Hey, ma'am, can we talk? Sorry.
And they will, when your companions want to talk to you, they will ask you. They will ask you to talk to them.
Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale.
This is about the deserters? So what's on the other side of it?
To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left.
Did you know this Adelaide Reed mentioned?
Miss McDevitt? Oh, gosh, no. She was a real important person. A flavorist. Made all the food taste decent. She used to work up in the big office with Mr. Thompson. Alls I know is she left after her son died. A real big to-do. I could hear them both yelling clear from my own place.
How well did you know the deserters? You worked with them? You were friends, or what?
I don't know anybody well. I mostly listened to them talk, kept my head down. There was a boy named Thomas who used to follow me around, asking questions about the stuff I fixed. He was real sweet to me. Not any sort of dissident.
Now, you can't leave it at that. Why were Reed and Adelaide arguing?
Can't say as I know. I wasn't there. The sound carried, but not the words. If Mr. Thompson ain't of a mind to tell you his own self, you'd best ask Miss McDevitt, if you can get out to her.
Can't blame anybody for wanting to leave. This town's got issues.
Life's hard here. Especially for them that don't fit in so well. We're one big Spacer's Choice family, but every family's got the one the rest whisper about. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is.
I suppose it couldn't hurt. We'll stop by.
Thanks, ma'am. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to say anyways.
Oh, Parvati. Okay. So we're going to talk to Parvati. And then we're going to say, because she's going to talk a lot about her dad. I noticed you mention your dad a lot, but never your mother.
That's on account of how I never met her.
I'm sorry.
It's hard to miss what you never knew. I don't ponder it over much. She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice family. She worked in the Vale a few months, sorting the cannery computers. Her contract said any kids she had, expected or not, belonged to her office from the time of conception. So when I was born, I got sent here.
So I don't have enough perception to make this statement. That's, you can see that it's grayed out. So that's the first time we're gonna start running up against skill checks we can't necessarily do yet. So we're gonna say, is that normal?
I don't know about normal. Dad said she worked under some kind of special contract. It's sensible. Dad just fixed machines. She did some kind of crazy math, high-level stuff. Better to raise me on his time than hers.
So everybody's got a story. So the cannery, right? This is the cannery. Okay, we got a bunch of different things that we're gonna do here because we're gonna go talk to the vicar, but we have probably some loot that we can find. We have people we need to talk to. So cannery workers or whatever. You will notice that on this table are a bunch of sprats, those little rat things. And you will also remember that Parvati and Thompson were having a conversation about the fact that the stuff, the stuff that's going into the cans isn't salt tuna because it's supposed to be salt tuna and it's not. So this doesn't say that it's stealing, so, but you see, trespassing, lockpicking, hacking, and murder are all considered legal activities and are frowned upon by society. Avoid being seen if you want to engage in those activities without consequences. So, I'm not going to steal what's in there, but you can see that the fact that I picked that lock, and I used 2 lockpicks to do it because it needed 2 lockpicks. It's considered theft because those locks belong to somebody else. So here's the Spacer's Choice vending machine. Vending machines offer a variety of items to purchase, mostly from one company. They're pretty much all company branded, and there's a bunch of different companies, and so they have different things based on what company it is. A hack skill of 20 or higher allows you to sell items to the vending machine. We have that. Restricted items on a vendor can only be purchased when you have high enough reputation or hack skill of 40 or higher. And then there are better guns and restricted items and stuff like that. So we have page 1 and page 2. We have, they do have armor. You know, you got these Spacer's Choice armor and all this good stuff. But we can't afford this, right? We can't afford any of this. We're broke. So we could theoretically sell, we're gonna sell our pieces that are like really, really good. And then that's probably where we're not gonna do too much more with it. We just need to make money, and the best way to do that is going to be going out and murdering marauders and bandits and stuff like that, which is fine. I love the fact that they all have their different jingles, and I love the fact for Spacer's Choice is it's not the best choice, it's Spacer's Choice, and I love that is the jingle, right? That's the qualifier. You know, this isn't the best choice, but it is Spacer's Choice. So I find that to be very funny. No, there's gonna be lots of
I'm sorry. I'll just be a minute.
You had a minute. Next one comes out of your pay.
Ease off the threats, friend. I'm going.
Boss's orders. We all got quotas to make.
Yeah, there's lots of murdering of bandits and stuff. And basically because every time you go into a town, and come out of the town, it refreshes them and they respawn. Um,
I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
so this is the church. And this is Max. By the way, I don't like Vicar Max, but here we go.
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto at your service. Or Vicar Max if you're the sort who prefers brevity. And Ms. Holcomb as well. How rare to see you out. And with a complete stranger. Curious.
Just tagging along, Vicar DeSoto. Don't mind me.
I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison, anything at all. Spiritual counseling, this season's tossball predictions, the quickest way out of town.
Parvati wanted to talk to you about what Reed asked us to do.
But what? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Thompson asked you to do?
Cut off the power to Adelaide's deserters.
Depriving them of safety from the marauders and wildlife. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk.
So what do you advise?
Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold.
Is that even possible?
Not if things are left to stand as they are. If you don't mind a bit of unsolicited advice, be cautious on your way to the geothermal plant. It is not as safe as you might assume.
And why is that?
One of the reasons I transferred here was to fulfill my duty in hunting down banned heretical texts. I happen to know such a book is, as we speak, tainting a collector's library in Emerald Vale. However, the collector's residence lies outside the town's walls. My retrieval efforts have been thwarted by marauders who have overrun the property. Should you fare better than me, I'd pay a handsome sum for the book.
Why would a victor be after a banned heretical book?
I just want to keep the writing out of layman's hands. It wouldn't do for such information to fall into public consumption.
You make a compelling argument.
Glad we see eye to eye. It's a handwritten journal, a faded blue cover with the name M. Bakonu handwritten in the lower corner. I'll mark where I saw it on your map. Assuming you're serious?
I'll look for your book.
Thank you. If you retrieve it, you can always find me here.
So then, just as a precaution then, let's see. So if that's the case, we'll do this. Actually, let's do that. And then I'm going to try that. And we're going to see how that works. Because I will adjust it all day long. All I do is roll the thing up and down on my headset if I want different things. But if we want to hear, we can test the barks. Those are pretty easy to test. I just need to find... Let's see. Well, I want to go to the general store, so here's one.
You think corporate's ever gonna visit?
I'm not holding out hope.
Then...
Heard something outside the walls today.
Nothing for us outside those walls. You ought to know that.
Well, that we can easily test, like the jingle and stuff like that.
I'm not allowed in here. Not since the vending machine incident.
Okay.
Holcomb, got my eye on you, girl. Miss Holcomb ain't allowed in this establishment. Not since that little incident.
She'll be on her best behavior. Won't you, Parvati?
Absolutely. I'll keep my hands in my pockets. I won't touch anything while we're in here, Mr. Moreau. I promise.
I've got some questions for you.
Go right ahead.
Anything I should watch out for?
Other than yourself? Definitely the vicar. Don't get me wrong. He seems a decent man, cut from church cloth, knows his scriptures. But there's something about him that bothers me. Like he's not one of us. Sometimes I suspect he doesn't even want to be here.
Thanks. Anyone else?
Amelia. Definitely Amelia Kim. I advise against stepping foot in her drinking establishment altogether. Word is, they're gonna replace her with an automechanical barkeep. She's... what's the word? Obsolete. You don't want to associate yourself with that kind of person.
I realize that my chair is too high. Oh, that's much better. I was like, why am I uncomfortable? Because my chair is too high. Okay. So about this plague that's supposed to be going around.
Plague? I don't know anything about a plague. We are the very picture of hot-blooded physical vigor.
Is there a reason you feel like you have to hide what's going on?
You have got the wrong idea about me. I've got nothing that needs hiding. Some of us who get sick are liable to exaggerate the conditions of that sickness, but the fact is, if you work hard, you have got no cause to worry.
That doesn't make any sense.
Spend enough time in the Spacer's Choice family, and you will come to understand. Medical treatment is commensurate with our value to society. Spacer's Choice will dispense medicine for the indispensable worker. Natural selection at work.
And if you don't work hard enough?
Then the hand of medical science will not grace you with its touch, and you must recover on the virtue of your own grit. Listen, you mind if we talk about something else? Rambling about company policy gets me feeling all lightheaded.
Let me see what you're selling.
Music to my ears.
So, he sells... we have a 2% discount, by the way. We're getting there. He's got, like, guns, hammers, impact hammers, Parvati, and that's the thing about the weapons that Parvati's using. Your companions, especially their offhand weapons, they tend to prefer certain things over other things. So, yeah. Alright, we don't need anything from you. That's a broken vending machine, and it's Parvati's fault. So, let's actually, we're gonna go towards the landing pad, because there are vending machines on the landing pad, so we can check the jingle. And there's a person we need to talk to that's gonna give us another quest. So, landing pad. This is where this is where Hawthorne was supposed to land.